So let me tell you guys a little about myself. I have 3 kids that I love very much, but I'll tell you, I'm not one of these dads who brags about how smart their kids are. They'll never see me with one of those bumper stickers that say my kids are on the honor roll at the Olivia Middle School. You ever see these jackasses? You know what I need though? I need a bumper sticker that says, my kids are barely getting by at the Sylvan Learning Center. That's what I need. My wife gave birth to our first son 2 years ago. Thank you. He's not here. Don't worry about it. Yeah, no, him and I, you know what I find very strange though, when people stick their head in the stroller and say weird things like, oh boy, he's going to be a lady killer, or this one here's going to be a real heartbreaker. I want to know, how come nobody ever walks up to a baby girl in the stroller and says something like, oh, look at this one. Someday she's going to be a filthy whore. I was walking in the mall with my son the other day and I'm thinking to myself, nobody really gives a shit about me anymore. Now that I had kids, no one really cares about me anymore. So I'm walking in the mall thinking, I could have a pickaxe sticking out of my forehead right now, and nobody would do a goddamn thing to help me. But the minute a sock falls off of this fucking kid's foot, people come crawling out of the woodwork like I'm handing out free Cinnabon. It's amazing. I would like to reflect back for a second to the day my son was born. I'll never forget it. I'm in the hospital, and my 7-year-old comes up to me, and she says, Daddy, can I ask you a question? So I said, sure, baby, anything, what's up? She says, Daddy, now that Max is finally here, do you think you'll love him more than you love me and Anna because, you know, we're girls and he's a boy? You can melt your heart, right? So I kneel down, I say to her, oh my God, some man from I love, my sweetheart, what kind of question is that, baby? Of course I'll love him more! Oh my God, what a fucking idiot this kid is, right? He's a boy! So stupid. What a jerk. Honestly, is there anything worse than taking your children out to eat in the world? Is there anything worse than that, right? I actually did some research on the subject recently, and I found out that all those hunger strikes that Gandhi did were because he was refusing to take his kids out to dinner. It's true. The actual quote was, I'd rather starve to death than take these motherfuckers to Applebee's. That was the quote. Believe that one? Gandhi, of all people. But what about your kids' teeth? You ever look at your children's teeth? How awful they are, especially if they're like 6, 7 years old. They have that one big tooth next to that tiny little baby tooth. That has a huge gaping hole you can drive a truck through, and that like one black, gray, gnarled thing. It's terrible. And then the kids they put you on the spot and they ask you loaded questions, you know, like, am I the prettiest little girl in the world, Daddy? God, no! My God, not even close! Have you seen your fucking teeth lately? Jesus, you want to brush these goddamn things? How about some braces or routine or something, right? A headgear, maybe? Hope you don't kiss your mother with that mouth. Ugly. Then there's my wife. Let's talk about that piece for a second. Why don't we don't do that? You guys ever seen this commercial for erectile dysfunction where there's a man and a woman on the front lawn and they're raking leaves, and the man stops and he gives the wife a look, and the next thing you know, they're off in the bedroom because the moment was right for them. You seen that before? Ironically, my wife and I were raking leaves recently. So I figured, hey, maybe the moment's right for us. So I stop. I give my wife a look. She gives me a look back, and she says, what the fuck are you staring at, fat ass? Think these fucking leaves are gonna pick themselves up, don't you? Take her out of a goddamn rake and stop creeping me out. And she can be difficult, man. Difficult broad. Just this morning when I woke up, she starts in on me. She says, how about making yourself useful today? Instead of sitting around all day filling your fat face and Facebooking all your bitches, why don't you go ahead and do the laundry? Take my car for breaks. So I said, fine, I'll do it. And then wouldn't you know, right before I come over to the club tonight, she starts on me again. Way to fuck up all my laundry, loser. Thanks to you now, all my whites are pink. You know something? You are fucking useless. If she thinks our laundry came out bad, what did she do right there to her breaks? Not good at all. It's not a good scene. Not good. She even gets on me for how much money I spend on food. You believe this? Stop wasting all our life savings on food and come home and make yourself a sandwich. So yesterday I actually did. I walk in the house and guess who's standing there but good old Red Rum herself. What the fuck are you doing here? You scared the living shit out of me. Why didn't you call first? So So I said, well, I was a little hungry, and I live here. So she said, fine, go make yourself a sandwich. Don't touch honey maple turkey and the boar's head Swiss. So I open up the cold cut drawer. I find 2 pieces of American cheese curled up. 1 piece of bologna that is so old it has morphed into olive loaf. And 3 pieces of Stop and Shop ham sitting in a bag filled with heavy condensation. So you know what? I've had it. You know what I did today? I went out and I spent $12 on a buffalo turkey panini with Swiss cheese and ranch dressing. And I loved every goddamn bite of it. Yes, I did. And you know what I did? I went out and I spent $500 on that new set of golf clubs. That's right. I don't even play golf. She's so mean. She's always yelling at me. I'm sick of you. I'm sick of all your bullshit, your nonsense, your fantasy baseball, your dishes all over the house, your burst appendix. So hard. My wife. Can't do anything right at all. You can't even put the goddamn garbage can on the right way. I said, well, I did put the garbage can on the right way, but the raccoon is always flipping it off. You put the goddamn thing on right in the first place, the raccoon will be able to flip it off. You want to know the saddest part of the whole story? Poor little raccoon has rabies. Yeah. My wife bit him. Yeah. Very bad. You know my biggest pet peeve in life, though? Men who are afraid of their wives. A lot of you men out there are afraid of your wives. I can see it, pathetic. Every one of you. Not me, though. No, not at all. I'm in King Kong the other day, and I'm noticing as a man is holding a cup of yogurt in his hand. 1 cup of yogurt, and he's screaming down the aisle to his wife, Sheila, can I buy this? Sheila, can I buy this? I'm like, dude, really? 75 fucking cents for a cup of yogurt. Ugh, was I pissed off. I grabbed my wife's box of tampons, I got the fuck out of that store. So pissed off. That's all my time, folks. Thank you very much. Enjoy the show.